Hello, my name is Cade Warmke. I will be doing a presentation over James Edward Hanger. I will be telling you about his story and how he invented the most advanced prosthetic ever. This revolutionized the industry and completely changed the way that we view prosthetics and how people are aided in prosthetics today. James was a normal kid. He was born in Churchville, Virginia on February 25th, 1843. He was this normal 15, 16-year-old boy, and then once he hit 17 years old, he enrolled at Washington College in 1860. Not long after, life just completely flipped around. The Civil War began, and he was just thrusted right into the Confederate Army. This put him in one of the most dangerous positions of his life just at 18 years old. And in one of the first engagements in this war, he was struck by a cannonball, and this completely disabled him. This left him an amputee, one of the first of the war, in fact. And this put him on an entire journey of wanting to do better for himself and do better for others who experienced the same thing as him. Being a newly amputated person, James was just thrown into this new life. He didn't know what to do. Being an 18-year-old kid that just enrolled in college, just thrown into the war, into the Confederate Army, and now he has lost one leg. He has pretty much just a peg leg, a piece of wood strapped to his leg. And these peg legs dominated the industry. They were seemingly impossible to innovate past, and they were impossible to get domination over. And so he wanted to create a design that hinges and bends at the legs that allows more movement for himself and for everyone that has experienced the same thing he did. And breaking ground in the medical and military communities were seemingly impossible at the time because these peg legs just dominated the industry. So he eventually created this design that bent at the ankle, the knees, and pretty much any joint that it was attached to. And this goes for arms, legs, whatever. And eventually, after being in complete isolation when he first started working on his design, he finally patented his design, and he began producing hanger limbs, which is what he called it. And this was for other amputees and other veterans. Hanger's legs eventually became a huge success. With the couple attachments that people added to the legs, they were seemingly brand new people with the new movement and new mobility that these legs gave them. They bent at the knee, the ankles, all the joints that it was attached to, and it was a game changer. It blew the old peg legs out of the water. The domination of the wooden peg legs was over. All this movement made it seem much more natural for users. All these veterans were completely abled again, and this just completely changed the world of prosthesis and prosthetics as we know it. And eventually it became such a big success, he opened a place called Hanger Orthopedic Group, or it's Hanger Clinic now, as you can see in this more modern picture. Going off of that, he eventually supplied thousands of veterans. It went on to become a worldwide success. People around the world are using his prosthetics still to this day, and he became the leader in the prosthetic industry, and his invention completely revolutionized the industry. Hanger's prosthetics completely reshaped the industry of prosthetics as we know it. There are clinics around the world that are set up right now, just that are most likely based off his designs. The old peg legs and stiff, super uncomfortable peg legs were completely blown out of the water. They are no more. All prosthetics now are bent at the knees. They're bendable. They're more mobile. Anything you can think of, they're on the prosthetic now. Every single prosthetic that he made and created was constantly improved, every single one. And his design was always improved after every single prosthetic that was attached to someone's leg. Essentially, he created the most advanced prosthetic ever, which is a huge claim, but in reality, he did. There was not a single prosthetic that bent at the knee or joint at this time, and no one had even thought of it. And now there are prosthetics that you can jump, run faster, and do whatever. There's prosthetics for any need or athletic need you could think of. This design just completely blew any other design out of the water, and almost all designs today are modeled after his envisionment and just everything that he thought of. Hanger's prosthetic models still live on today. Going from a amputated Civil War veteran to one of the most amazing entrepreneurial successes today. This is one of the best stories you could read or listen to, and is a driving motivation for many entrepreneurs today. And tying back to our course concepts, creative destruction, stigmatized creativity, and imagination. Uh, James James Edward Hanger just represents these three concepts so well. On creative destruction, he just blew these old peg legs out of the water with his advanced prosthesis. It bends at the knees, joints, and now today it's arms, elbows, and wrists and fingers now even. And it's just truly amazing how he blew those old wooden sticks out of the water. And for stigmatized creativity, his prosthesis was at first no one accepted it. Everyone wanted the old uncomfortable peg leg because no one trusted what he'd created. No one, he had to initially gain people's trust and just find his audience to people that were more open to trying it. And eventually, of course, it became more successful, and he opened more clinics and more people were helped. And lastly, imagination. Without his entire imagination, this would not be possible. His tool of imagination would not have allowed him to create such a device that bends at the knees and ankles. And in doing this, he created one of the most advanced prosthetics ever. And in my mind, I believe this is one of the best entrepreneurial stories ever.